William Mwembe, hello and welcome to yet another edition of the program Business Time right here on Times. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines. And in the program today, MITC touts EIF project impact and Malawi to host International Insurance Conference. We have these and other stories. Stay tuned if you could. In our main story in the program today, Malawi Investment and Trade Center has touted the impact of the enhanced integrated framework in boosting the country's export base. MITC figures show that through the project, at least 10 local firms exported goods valued at $7 million in the 2018-2019 financial year. Chimwemwe Mangazi has the whole story.
The EIF is a multilateral partnership dedicated to assisting least developed countries use trade as an engine for growth, sustainable development, and poverty reduction. Under the project, MITC is supporting local exporters in capacity building. In a statement, MITC says in the past financial year alone, it assisted more than 8 companies in enhancing export readiness through improvements in product packaging and labeling. MITC Public Relations Manager Dedibe Chimbalu said the center is helping companies in certification and linking them to financial institutions.
In a project under the integrated framework, which was supporting MITC and the whole government of Malawi to come up with a roadmap for the agricultural export processing zone and also for the promotion of Malawian value addition products to regional and international markets. Under the 4 or 5 years that the project has been being implemented here in Malawi, MITC has carried a number of activities. Most of them was to build capacity of our local exporters as well as producers of various products to give them the edge that they need for them to succeed, especially in international markets. So far, we have managed to at least realize exports worth $7 million, which has come about as a result of the interventions that the EIF project has had on the Malawian companies, which we are working with as an institution. So as MITC, we are happy with the success that the project has registered, and we are hopeful that we will continue from where this project has stopped. We'll continue with our capacity building exercises as well as also promotion of Malawian products in various markets, be it using the trade fairs that we normally participate, both international and local ones.
She said currently the center is engaging stakeholders for collaboration as the country prepares for the Dubai Expo next year. The center has come up with an expo strategy and a design of the Malawi pavilion, which has already been submitted to the organizers of the event.
MITC, as you might know, it is an institution that is mandated to promote Malawi, not only here in the country but worldwide. So we are participating in one of the international platform, the Dubai Expo 2020, which is scheduled for October 2020 up until April 2021. For this expo, or for this event, we are calling upon collaboration with all stakeholders that are involved to work with us as an institution in coming up with products or content that we should showcase at this global platform. This is a very important event because it will give us an opportunity to interact and also to meet with various businesses from across the world. So far, the Dubai Expo has a confirmation of about 110 countries, including Malawi, which have shown interest to participate at this global stage. And the preparations are going on well, as MITC as a coordinating institution. We are working very hard with our counterparts in the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Tourism in ensuring that our participation at this global exposition is well coordinated. And as such, we are calling upon all stakeholders, be it the media, the academia, and other private sector companies to take advantage of this expo and prepare, because this is a great opportunity for us as a country to showcase to the world what we are made of.
Currently, the expo organizers have completed construction of 86 pavilions out of 110 from the confirmed countries.
Malawi is hosting a 4-day international insurance conference jointly organized by the local insurance firm General Alliance and Globus International. The Indawa, which will be held at the Lakeshore district of Salima, commences on Sunday. General Alliance Business Development Manager is Mphatso Kanzinga in Zulu and explains.
We are hosting a Globus conference. This is a conference that will bring a network will bring insurers from so many countries in Africa who are coming to see what we do and just discuss so many issues to do with insurance. And the reason is that last year we won the #1 sport. We were awarded the #1 insurer in Africa. So because of that, they decided to come to Malawi as just, a thank you for us for what we do, because you've got to satisfy certain standards and procedures that for you to qualify to be #1. So having done that last year, then they are now coming here for us to host these members who've confirmed, and so far there are 44 who've confirmed. Others are waiting visa approval, so the number should grow by the end of the week. Each country will have only one insurance company. The membership is based on that. So one country, one insurance company. And here in Malawi, it is only General Alliance who is a member of that network. So in terms of Malawi, it would be us, General Alliance, some of our staff members, and some events will be attended by some of our key clients. They will be invited, they will attend, because that interaction is also what helps to put yourself on the map and get the people to meet, talk, and discuss issues to do with insurance. This is a network that looks at how strong financially one is. It is based on countries that are big in their respective countries. And General Alliance is one of the leading insurance companies in Malawi. So that was one of the main reasons that qualified us to be that member. Whenever there's this, there are so many opportunities that come with it. For the local man in Salima, he'll be able to sell a few things to these members. We've given business to Sunbed Livingstonia, Safari Beach, Blue Waters, people who are hosting these people. It's business for them, and also other car hire firms taking people from the airport to Salima and back. So there's so many benefits that has come, and even putting the country on the map, because Malawi is a small country. There are other big countries that are in this network, but the insurance companies there last year did not win. We were #1. So one of the other benefits that is making us proud is where we know that we've put our country on the map. You see, insurance is a product that is sold on trust. So you must have the confidence on the market. People must trust and believe in you that whatever you've said, you'll be able to do it at the end of the day. So we cannot belong to this big organization if we're not able to fulfill some of our obligations. And being in that group also gives confidence to some of our clients, even potential clients, and our other partners, that they are dealing with the right company who has the right connections and networks. So that has also helped us to boost confidence to our clients.
But this is Business Time on Times, and my name is William Kumwembe. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. We'll be right back. As we proceed with the program, let us now have a look at how the Malawi kwacha is faring against major trading currencies on the foreign exchange market. Welcome back. National Bank of Malawi PLC on Wednesday donated 2 million kwacha to the Economics Association of Malawi ECAMA to go towards hosting of its annual conference slated for next month in Mangochi. The association will hold the conference from November 7th to 9th under the theme Population Growth, Challenges and Opportunities for Economic Development. Chimwemwe Mangazi reports.
Making the donation, the bank's head of operations, Brian Bobe, said some of the most important roles that the country needs to undertake are to identify economic problems, to propose solutions to them, and to persuade others of the need to take action. He said economics is an increasingly sophisticated business, and it is generally not too hard to identify key problems, however harder to find the right solutions.
ECAMA, being the Economists Association of Malawi, plays a leading role in advising the country and other institutions on the economic situation and how best we can handle economic challenges that the country faces from time to time. So, as National Bank, we also rely on such information, which helps us focus and make our planning decisions based on the current economic situation, as analyzed by the Economics Association of Malawi. This theme is very relevant to our country at the moment. As you may be aware, the country as a whole is undergoing a lot of pressure due to the population growth. We've got issues of deforestation, flooding, and lots of other challenges. So we find this theme very relevant to the current situation that we are in Malawi. And as has been mentioned, the recent population census has also shown that our population is growing very quickly. And there is, as a country, we need to take action.
ECAMA Vice Secretary General Esnat Suleiman thanked the bank for the gesture, stressing it will go a long way in organizing the event, which is poised to source solutions to economic development from think tanks.
As ECAMA, we are extremely thankful to National Bank for supporting us with 2 million kwacha towards our annual conference, which is scheduled to take place on the 7th and 8th of November. This conference is very important to us because it brings together key stakeholders to discuss matters of economic importance. National Bank has been partnering with ECAMA for quite some time, and for us this shows their continued commitment towards being part of the economic development of this country. And we believe that the support that they are giving us will continue in the long term. We do have an annual conference which is taking place, and obviously in this annual conference we have various stakeholders that will be part of this conference. We have participants from the private sector, we have participants from the public sector, non-governmental organizations, as well as civil society organizations. And to bring all of these people together requires financing. Looking at our budget, it's quite significant, and therefore this contribution from National Bank will go a long way in making this event possible. Looking at the event that we're having this year, the topic that we'll be discussing is population growth, mainly focusing on the challenges and the opportunities for economic development in Malawi. And this topic has mainly been derived looking at the recent report that came out last year on the population census that took place. And from that, we were able to note that the population of Malawi is growing quite significantly, to the point that we also have over 50% of this population under the age of 18. And therefore, this is an issue that we cannot ignore as a country. It's something that we need to kickstart the discussions and also come up with practical solutions that policymakers can then start to look into. Actually, looking at the current population, it comes with it challenges as well as opportunities. Looking at the challenges that are there, when we look at the resources that we have, are they sufficient to cover this high population that we have? When we look at resources, we're looking at health services, we're looking at education. Do we have sufficient schools to take care of all of this high population that we have? But also when you look at economic theory, it looks at human resource as being an important source, an important part of capital which you can then invest and create development. So therefore what we're saying is, how can we capitalize on this high population that we're having to look at how we can make it more productive and at the same time mitigate the challenges that come through with it. But those are just some initial thoughts. But like I mentioned, to say that at this conference we'll be bringing stakeholders from different areas of expertise to critically look at this and come up with more different views in terms of what the benefits would be, what are the challenges, how we can address them, and how we can capitalize on them.
The association will hold the conference from November 7th to 9th under the theme Population Growth, Challenges and Opportunities for Economic Development.
The Reserve Bank of Malawi has challenged financial market dealers in the country to play their rightful role towards the accelerated economic development of the country. RBM Executive Director Henry Matanga was speaking recently during the Financial Market Dealers Association FIMDA annual conference. It was held under the theme Navigating the Next Level for the Economy and Financial Markets. Matanga explains.
Well, fundamentally, we're raising issues of collaboration. There's need for collaboration between the stakeholders, government and Reserve Bank on one side, but also the Financial Dealers Association on the other side. It takes two to tango, and the government is playing its role in terms of macro stability. We've seen that the macro economy has been stabilized. Government has also put in place enabling legislation, especially the pension fund bill, that has enabled the financial sector to accumulate a lot of fund assets. And what we are appealing to the financial market dealers is that they should intermediate these resources so that they go into the productive sector and not the consumption sector. So there is need for collaboration. If there's any problem that they are seeing on our side, let them communicate. And if we are seeing also problem on their side, we also communicate so that together we can work to make sure that we move this country forward.
You also shared some growth figures comparing Malawi with other countries in the region, indicating that Malawi has been growing at a slower rate than other economies in the region. What could be the role for financial market dealers in ensuring that Malawi also achieves accelerated economic growth?
Financial market dealers are the ones that set prices for instruments, prices for money, prices for foreign exchange, and therefore their pricing is key in terms of the uptake of products that are introduced in the market to intermediate resources. You see, an investor or an entrepreneur may have an idea, but if they don't have the resources, that idea remains an idea. So if an investor or an entrepreneur has an idea and goes to a bank to borrow money, they should be able to be given favorable pricing so that they implement their idea. And the role of the Financial Market Dealers Association is to make sure that the entrepreneurs are given a chance to implement their ideas. And by them being given a chance to implement their projects, it means that the more they are given chance, the more the economy stands a chance of growing. So we then will be able as a country to move from where we are to a higher level of growth, just like the other countries in the region that have experienced substantial growth over the past decade, like Rwanda, Ethiopia, and so on. It is perhaps not only a problem of the financial dealers, market dealers, it is a general problem. I think in Malawi generally, we believe, in my view, that is my perception, I could be wrong. Our pricing, we want to make huge profit on one transaction. and that defeats turnover, that defeats economic activity, because if a transaction is that expensive, then the participants will take time to come back. But if you have cheaper transactions and we have more of them, there's a lot of turnover, and it is the benefit of everyone. So the message I was passing on to the financial market dealers is that, look, yes, we know that you have to make money for the shareholder. Yes, you have to make sure that you meet your targets. But you can meet the same targets. You can, make money for your shareholder by doing more transactions. And in doing more transactions, you generate more money from a smaller margin than just making a huge profit on just one transaction. You achieve the same objective. But the one where you achieve higher margin on one transaction, it's really not pro-growth, because it means that activity slows down.
One of the presenters at the conference was Export Development Fund Executive Director William Matambo, and says dealers could play a critical role in boosting exports.
The presentation was what Malawi is doing to address the trade imbalances that have existed since independence. So I think during the presentation I made comments on a number of areas that as a country we're trying to address. I touched on the area of agriculture, that we have started working with medium to large scale corporations to try and see if we can change the dynamic in the agriculture area, specifically how we can propel production and become more competitive on the international markets. With agricultural produce, there are three things that normally affect us. One is price competitiveness, two is the quality of our products, and thirdly is production cost itself. That usually forces us to not to be competitive on the international market. So there are programs and activities that we are doing as EDF to try to address these three key areas.
And FIMDA President Patricia Hamisi described the conference as successful.
The 2019 FIMDA conference has been a success. We saw a very good turnout in the numbers that were attending the conference, and we had a diverse section of people. We had people from EDF, we had banks, we had capital market players. Of much importance and stress in this year's theme was how to find a balance between our export bill and our import bill. If you've noted, our import bill at the moment is about $2.4 billion in a year, whilst the export one is about 600 million. So we're trying to find ways of trying to boost the exports so that they match the imports. On the other hand, we've had so many regulations introduced in this year, being the reference rates, thinning out on margins on FX sales. So we decided as dealers to come and sit together and brainstorm how best we can still remain relevant in the banks and still be efficient and produce the results that we are employed to produce.
Well, with that story, we've also come to the end of today's edition of the program Business Time right here on Times. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines. On behalf of the entire production team, my name is William Kumwembe. But always remember, if it doesn't make money, then it doesn't make sense. Goodbye for now.